One. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We're making more cards today. Hello, hello. Let me know when you are here, because we are going to make some really fun cards today. Hello, Heather. Hello, Ash. Hello, everyone. Hello, Beverly. Hello, Candy. Hello, Cherie. Hello, Robin. Hello, everybody. Hello, Penny. We are continuing on our journey today of Fairyland. So the fairy release has been very, very popular, and thank you to everyone that has already placed your orders for the fairy items. We are shipping them out as quickly as they are coming in, and we do have some SOS status items, and I'll talk about that as they come up in this live broadcast. But we're going to make two different cards today, and they're two very different cards. So I'm excited to showcase a couple of different things. I'm going to show you two different techniques with one of the cards that I'm making, and then I'm going to show you kind of a coloring technique and a very simple card. We'll cast replay. Okay, thank you. Hi, Annie. Hello, Margaret. Hello, everyone. So, all right, let's head down to the table and let's talk about what we're going to make today. Oh, I'm a little bit astrew. All right, so today we are going to be using quite a few products from the release. One of the items that we are going to use today that I'm really excited about because I've been dying to try these out are the Fantastic Forest card panels. So these are one of those items that they have, they make it very, very simple for you to create a card because as you can see here, all of the imagery is already done for you. So it's already been created, it's already been painted, and it's ready to go. So these are what those panels look like. And we are going to use these panels to kind of make a quick little fairy card today. So we are going to choose which panel we want to use. But first, let me grab my stamp that we are going to use, or my stamp and die cut. So we are going to be using this stamp today. So this is the Home Sweet Home stamp set. As you can see, this one has been loved very much and stamped quite a few times. But the Home Sweet Home, luckily, I have a little crafty elf here that was here in the studio today, and that crafty elf stamped out a whole bunch for me, and they're already ready to go. So we have all of the stamped images and the sentiments, so we can save on some time when we're doing all of our technique driven things, because we're going to do some foiling today, and we're going to do a little bit of ink blending today. We're going to do a whole bunch of different techniques today. So I wanted to try to not have too much of the stamping and die cutting and things like that. But for this stamp set, this is the Home Sweet Home stamp, and then of course the coordinating die. So the coordinating die for this is a larger die, and it looks like this, and it just makes it very easy to cut that out. And then of course you have your sentiments there as well. So I'm going to grab a little bit of our excuse me, I'm not a little bit, but I'm going to grab one of these panels, and I really am liking this one. I think this one plays off very well because there is a tree in the background as well. What do you think? Yeah, so a crafty little fairy for our crafty little release. Isn't that great? So I'm thinking we'll use this one because I like the kind of the darkness of it with this bright imagery. But of course, again, there are so many different ones that are in this collection. I mean, so many different ones. So yes, that was Heather, if I didn't mention. Heather is the crafty fairy, and she has been down here in the studio. She was down here all day going through and making sure that I had everything that I needed to present to you today, and that's just the best, right? She's the best. So what we're going to do first is we're going to start coloring. So I want to color this to match the look of this. So the trees are not, the trees and the hills and things are not going to be what the typical coloration would be. Now when it comes to, when it comes to the actual door and windows and stuff, we are going to just color that in the standard colors that you would normally think that a door and, you know, a hillside would be, and rocks and so on and so forth. But what we're doing is we just want to fill this with as much color as we possibly can. And the reason for that is we don't want it to stand out too much from the background. So I'm just going in with my Olo marker. I'm adding a little bit of shading. And this is going to be, I mean, I know that most of you have colored with me before. This is what I generally call the loosey-goosey coloring, where we're just going to kind of loosely color and loosely shade, because this is a very detailed image. So it's very easy for us to kind of play off of the detail that is in that image. So we have a lot of teals, a lot of blues, and a lot of purples that are in this background. So what we want to do is we want to try to emulate that. All right, so I have these colors that I think you can see match very, very well. And we're gonna do kind of like a pointillized coloring on this. And again, if you've been with me for a while, you've seen me color in this style before. This really seriously takes it, it's right, isn't it so cool? So we're going to start out by using a little bit of purple in the trees. And again, we are going to take this coloring all the way out to the edge, so we don't have those white lines that you would see with a normal die cut. Now, the reason for this is we want this to blend in the best that we can to the background. So we're going to just add that all the way to the edge. Do you see what I did there? So we do not want any of those white edges. So we are just going in and we're coloring in. We have all of our little plants here. Little trees and little plants are on the outside, and I'm going to do some teals for the hillside. But over here where you see the bushes, we are going to just color all the way to the edge there. And you know, when we color in the grass and so on and so forth, we will do the same thing. Oh, hello, Donna. Well, welcome. I'm glad you're here. So we'll add a little bit of darker shading into the trees, and I'm going to actually go back in with my brown, which this is actually called Golden Eagle, and I'm going to shade in my tree. And as you can see, this is very, very loosey-goosey coloring. And the reason that we're doing it this way is because all of the details will be found whenever they're looking at this image, when they're actually taking a closer look for their card. So now I'm going to go in with some of the aqua green, and again, we're just following the coloration of the background. If you were doing this with another one of the panels, you would go in and you would just use the colors and emulate the colors from that panel that you're doing. Because you'll see whenever I add this on top, you are not going to have any idea that these were two separate images. And that's the goal. The goal really is to make it so that it doesn't look like there's two separate images here. So I'm going to go in with my teal here because we do have a very teal looking ground here. So we have teals and we have pinks. So I'm going to do some pinks and some teals. But I am going to leave this area here white because I think that will fall right in this area. So I think that makes the most sense to keep that white. But we're going to add some pinks in to these florals that we have here. And we're going to continue coloring all of the grass with this teal color. So the cool thing is, again, this is very whimsical. It's very, very, it's very storybook. So when you read a story, or you are looking at a story with a little one or reading it yourself, you will find that many of these colors don't make sense in real life. And that's because this is a fairy tale. We are living in a fairy tale world when it comes to this collection. So now I'm going to add in some of my blues, and I'm just kind of tapping in and adding that color, and it will all kind of fade and blend together. So that's really what we're going for here. We want it to fade and blend, and really not, you don't want it to look like it stops or starts in any given spot. Is that making sense to everybody? This release is flowing off the shelves. You really have been having some totally awesome releases. Yes, we will be reordering this release and the Safari, but only to a certain extent. Some of the releases are not, they will not be what we consider an evergreen item, meaning that they won't be around forever. Some of the items, depending on their popularity, we will be reordering, but there are some things that we just won't be able to reorder because we just don't have room for everything. So although some things will come back, not everything is going to come back. So if you see it and you want it and you love it, I would say grab it soon. Because we have a massive release coming on June 1st, which is less than 2 weeks away. So because of that massive release, we can't really bring back in a ton of items, or else we just won't have room for it. All right, so I'm gonna go in with a little bit of purple here. Then I'm gonna bring this up to show you just how ethereal this looks. Okay, so here we go. Hello, my beautiful Dion. So look at how beautiful, and the lights are going to really going to dull this out. But now when I add it on top, doesn't that look like it belongs there? So we went from a very stark white image to now an image that looks like it belonged there the whole time. Do you see what I'm saying? Does that make sense to everybody? The reason that we did the coloring in that style. I mean, it looks like that's a part of the scene, right? I'll ask my peanut gallery over there. How does it look, Heather? Does it look like it belongs there?
Yes. The nice thing is you didn't have to do anything to the background. It's all done.
Yeah, and what's really cool is it really looks like these flowers, because of this little cutout here, look like they belong there. It looks like it was supposed to be there the whole time. So one thing that I'm going to add to this to create just a little bit more whimsy behind here is I'm going to add some of our fabulous fibers. So the fabulous fibers, they come in a container like this. And the way that I'm going to add them is I'm just going to add them with just a little bit of adhesive. So I'm going to take my adhesive runner and I'm just going to add them just behind this area, because the fabulous fibers really give the look and feel of of something that would be like in the woodlands, right? I mean, that's how I feel about it. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to trim off a piece, because they are in like larger strips. And I'm just going to lay this right on my background. Now the great thing is if it's too long, you can give it a haircut. So I'm not thinking that mine is going to be too long, because I like that whimsy and I like that little extra oomph that it provides. But I'm just laying this on the back here, and it's kind of like when you would be putting on doll hair. It's just going to grab a couple of little strands of it, and any strands that don't hold on, we're just going to pop them back into our container, and it all fits right back in very nicely. And we just want to go ahead and make sure that any strands that are not holding on, that we pull those off. But you'll see it's going to create a very, very subtle but very cool look to it. Can you see that? I wish you were here in real life, because it really, really creates a fun kind of background look to it. All right, so let me get all of my little fabulous fiber pieces and close up my jar here. You're really, really gonna really enjoy these. Yes, it does carry it through the scene. Okay, so now I'm gonna cut this down. I'm gonna grab one of my card bases. And we do still have the free gift if you spend $50 or more. that is still available. We actually just grabbed some more from manufacturing because the free gift went very quickly yesterday, but luckily since we make them here, we can get them very quick. So I don't want to lose any of this scene, so I'm just going to attach this onto my card base. And this is really how simply you can make this fairy card. Has anyone out there ordered from this release yet? If you have, let me know what you got, what you're excited to get, what you're still looking at, because I love hearing what you're excited about. So there is our panel, and now you can see, look at how cool that is sparkling in the background. It looks like almost like light. It looks like it's like sunlight. So that's really cool. Uh-oh, Luann. You better get on it. It's going. Luann, will you be at the farmer's market this evening? I'm bringing the whole crew. Okay. Right? Isn't it? I just love it. Oh, you're there already. Oh, yeah, I guess it is 3:30, huh? Okay. All right. Sorry, I'm looking for my pokey tool. All right. So now I'm just going to peel these off of here. I forgot, with the new Brutus Monroe foam tape, you don't really need the pokey tool. All right, so we're just going to place this right here. Oh my word. Look at how cool that looks. That's amazing. I mean, that's really, really cool. Really, really cool. All right, so now I'm going to grab...
That looks
bottom right.
amazing.
All right, so I'm going to grab my sentiments. Here we are, because I'm just going to use the sentiment from that. Well, I guess we could have used... Could we have used this? Should we use this? I guess is the better question. I know. Maybe, do we think, so I'll ask the audience, do we think this one, or do we think the tall one? I think the tall one. What do we think, everyone? The tall one?
Yes.
Okay. The tall one it is. So let me move all my other pieces out of the way. Am I breaking up? It looks like we're kind of losing signal. Does everything look pretty good? Okay. All right. So let me color this in similar to the other one. So we will do a light brown on the actual sign and a darker brown on the wooden pieces.
He's trying to be funny.
Can you tell me how to get to Ferry Street? I cannot yet because there's no directional instructions on the sign, but once I add them, we will be good. Heather, can you go see what Jess may need? She was just calling me. And she knows that I'm live, so I think it might have been by accident, but just in case,
Okay.
if you don't mind. Thank you. All right. So just added a little green, And now I'm going to grab my little teensy tiny acrylic block. We're going to pick our saying. So I think we'll do enjoy the journey. What do you think? Oh, okay, good. It was a butt dial. Okay, got it. And then I'm going to add some of these colors around the outside. So enjoy. And then, oh, hold on, let me take this off of here. Because you have a lot of sayings on here. Enjoy the... Okay. And then journey. Okay. Hello, my beautiful Rose. Hello, hello. We miss you. All right. Okay. Okay. All right, now we have journey, and that looks good to me. Okay, so let me put this back on here. Put my stamp, well, I'll put my stamp away because Heather organized everything. It's gonna take me an extra second, but I'm gonna put everything away. All right. What?
I said I have those extra pieces. There's some ladybugs too if you want to pop them.
Yeah, I know. They're very little. I'm gonna wait on it, but this we're gonna need a new package for this because woo! When you open this stamp, I'll tell you. I mean, she was really trying to get into this stamp. It was, I mean, there's not even the package. The package isn't even a package anymore. So I'm gonna go in and I'm going to add some purple just all the way around here because it's much darker over here. So I think that if I add the purple going around, that will not only eliminate that weird, okay. Oh no, Shannon. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's because sometimes what happens is it takes it'll change you from all notifications to personalized notifications. So you might have to go back in and check all notifications. I don't know why it does that, but it does that. So I'm not sure. But it has done that to me before on some of the YouTubers that I watch all the time, and I don't know why.
Tell Rose about our live event.
Oh yeah, Rose, you should be. Did you see our Create Your Own Ending event? You've been to, I think, 2 of them at this point. It would be a shame not to have you at the next one. You could do it virtually too if you don't want to do it in real life, but I know that you have done it with your daughter before. Okay, so we are going to just add a little tiny bit of the foam to the back of this. And I don't want to add too much to it because I don't want to, I want it to still have a little bit of movement to it. All right. So we're going to place this just right back here. And I love that. I think that looks great. So it says enjoy the journey. And we have our house. And then you can see I added the Fabulous Fibers. So the Fabulous Fibers look like this. And the Fabulous Fibers I just kind of wafted behind here before I popped it up, which gave it this really cool, very whimsical look to it. Like it almost looks like it is light that's emulating from that background. It's really cool because they're very, very, I mean, if you look in real life, you could see them a little bit better, but they radiate, I guess is the term that I'm looking for. They radiate, and it's just very, very, very pretty. So there is that. So that is our first card. And I love that. And I'm sure Heather will be here to collect it shortly because they take all of my cards and whisk them away to be photographed and used in different TikToks and all sorts of different things. So, yep, and here she is. So I will hand that off to her, and now I'm going to work on our next card. So for our next cards, I already have some panels that have been what's the word I'm looking for? Gelled, I guess you could say. And these panels are ready. This one was actually done with the candy coat, but I'm still going to foil it because you can foil the candy coat as well, which I think is really, really cool. So I grabbed a couple of different foils, and this one I'm not going to foil. I'm going to blend on so I can show you kind of the difference between the two of them. But these are a slimline size panel, but we are going to end up we're going to end up probably cutting them down. I don't know yet. I'm still thinking about it. But I definitely want to use some of the fairies, and I want to use some other pieces from the release. But I'm also going to show you on this panel how you can use the new aqua pigments as well.
But see that panel? You can make 2 cards out of one someone.
Yeah, which is great. So I think we might use, what is this one called? Mystic Rainbow, I think is what we're going to use on this black panel. So we do sell, of course, the Mystic Rainbow here at Brutus Monroe. And I think that this will look absolutely spectacular on this. So what we did was we just used the candy coat, and the candy coat is what is going to hold on to our foil here. So I'm just going to place this right in the center and press that down. And I'm going to hand this off to Heather for her to run it through the laminator over there because she has the laminator. And I'm going to show you what this stencil looks like. But let me just cut this off with my rotary wheel here. There we go. Heather, are you still here?
Yeah,
okay.
I was just putting the link up.
That's okay. I just want to make sure you're still here. And this actually, Heather could probably go through without a carrier sheet because it's still kind of sticky. So I think we should be good without a carrier sheet. And then for the second one, let me show you the stencil that was used. I think you still have the stencil over there, maybe.
No, I gave it. See, it's underneath.
Oh, there we go. Thank you. To organize today. So this is the stencil that we are using. This is called Fairy Flight. This is probably one of my favorite stencils that we've ever done. It is just so beautiful, and it's just so cool. So I'm going to ink blend on this one. Now you can't see what's on here right now because it is, it's very bright in here, but do you see that it's just so pretty, this candy coat. So I'm going to actually blend this. I'm not going to, well, do I want to grid paper?
Over there.
Over where?
Bottom shelf.
Bottom shelf.
On the right.
Oh, I found it. Thank you. I'm going to use some of the, so these are a lifesaver whenever I am, I'm going to show you how you can do some zhuzhing with the aqua pigments in a second. I just had to find my grid sheets. It's when things are organized in here, I can't find a darn thing, but that's a good thing when things are organized. So I'm going to use my grid paper, and I'm actually going to turn my grid paper sideways because this is a large panel. This is actually much larger than a regular slimline. So I am going to just turn it sideways. And I'm going to add a little bit of this repositionable adhesive. Did we get this back in stock, Heather?
Yes.
Good. So this adhesive, it's flying. So this is repositionable adhesive, and if you haven't picked this up yet, put this in your cart right now. This is incredible. Thank you. This is, it's the best. So let me put that up there and just remind me, Heather, when I can't find it, that it's up on top of the inks. So this is amazing because when you lift this off of here, it doesn't rip your paper. So if you have anything that you're blending or doing anything tricky, grab some of this repositionable adhesive. And I just put a couple of little runs on there. It's phenomenal. And it's so inexpensive. So inexpensive. Really, get one of these and you'll always know that the yellow one is the one that you want to grab for. Okay, so let's do some blending, shall we? Which is one of my favorite things in the whole entire world to do. So we're going to start with Love Struck, which is a beautiful, beautiful red color. And I'm going to spin my little spinny thing here to grab my blending brush. How's everybody doing out there? Still well? Is everybody doing good? Everybody doing all right? I hope so. I hope everyone's doing great. Okay.
For $2.99.
$2.99. I mean, my goodness. All right, so I'm going to go in with just a little bit of the, and you're going to start seeing this come to life because I'm going to go in after and I'm going to wipe this down with my microfiber cloth, and it will really show up then. But I'm just going in and I'm just blending my colors in, and we're going to blend all the way up. And the trick to blending, at least the number one trick that I can tell you, is that you want to blend into your other colors. So I'm going in with Love Struck and I'm starting there, and then you'll see when I go to my next color, we are going to, I see that my butterflies are in the mailbox. Oh, yay! Did you ordered butterflies? That's awesome. Next we're going to take Roar. And Heather, do you know if I have slimline card bases?
Okay.
If I don't, I believe they're right back in the green room, well, green carpet room, on the shelf. If you don't mind grabbing this for me, because I don't think I have any like readily available here. But we do sell the pre-cut, then my release items are tomorrow. Oh, good. Yeah, they've been shipping that stuff out really quick. Perfect, thank you.
There's both there, so
Okay.
they don't have to cut.
Okay, good. Yeah, so the panels we have also already pre-done. So we have the card bases that look like this, and then we have the card panels. So as you can see, this is a little bit bigger than a normal card panel, but I'm going to cut it down to 3.5 by 8.5. We used to have slimline dies, which I don't know if we still have them, but we don't. Oh, I have to get them back in because this actually cuts out. Is this the right one or is this the right one? Because they are a lifesaver. Yeah, this is the 3.5 one. So this will actually just cut out my panel. Yeah, I'm going to use that. I'm going to cheat a little bit because it'll make it much easier. So we used to have those, and I think I'm going to bring them back because those were great. Because there's not a lot of slimline dies out there. At least that I can remember, that are like layering dies. So we're done with our orange. Now we're going to do our yellow. So for the yellow, I really like Shooting Star because to me it's a much more saturated yellow, and I like the deeper, bolder colors. But you can use whatever yellow you love, but I really love the Shooting Star. And a lot of these are back in stock. Most of these are back in stock, actually.
There's a few that are already sold out.
Yeah, I know. They go out as soon as they come in because I use these inks in almost every video I do because I love them. And you all know that I use what I love. All right, so I'm going in with our yellow. And now we need some green. So I think for the green, I'm going to use some, I think this is called Later Gator. because the Later Gator is a much brighter green.
And many of them have lunar paste too,
Yes.
which you can use that magical shattered glass
Mm-hmm.
and foil for another added.
I've never tried foiling lunar paste. Does that work?
Yep.
Oh, good.
With the magical shattered glass. It's only that and that.
Well, yeah, because it will cover it up.
Yep.
Okay, so now we have our Later Gator. Now we need some blue. And I think for our blue for this one, I think we'll use a little bit of No Diving, which is my favorite blue. Oops, wrong brush. My favorite blue from Simon. And we're just creating a rainbow panel. Okay, there's our blue. And then last but certainly not least, we have our purple. And I'm going to use the newer Crown Me. Isn't it a great release? It's really fun. What's that?
Lunar paste with the magical shattered.
That's not Magical Shattered. That's Rainbow. Yeah, that's Rainbow foil.
Oh.
But you did get your workout in. Go to find it. Yeah, that's just Rainbow foil. No, keep that over with you so it goes back upstairs.
Yeah.
Did you hear that grand? That she was on a grand full half marathon. She had to run all the way up to the store, which is 2 floors up. Oh, good, Jenny. Well, good, because it's going. It's going. All right. So now I could just lift this off, even though I blended the heck out of it. It did not, see how it didn't damage this? I mean, I'm telling y'all, put this in your cart. It is great. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to run this through the die cut machine. But first, I'm going to grab my slimline die. And like I said, I'm going to order these. I'm going to bring these back because I can't tell you how many times I use these. Actually, I think I want it to be down to the 3 1/4. Yeah, we wanted this to be the 3 1/4 so that it fits on our base. Yes. All right, so let me go ahead and, yeah, and using the app makes it so easy, doesn't it? All right, so we want to make sure this is as straight as possible. Oh, whoops, I always forget this. So when you are using Simon's inks, you have to make sure that it's completely dry because his inks do not like to stick to the pixie tape. We do, really. Because it was much easier when it was just a little space, and now we have 3 floors, so, and 3 big floors. They're not like 3 little floors. All right, I'm just gonna position this on my die cutting machine because it is not wanting to stick, and I don't want it to shift. I mean, I guess it won't really matter that much if it shifts, but I'm trying to. All right, we're off to the races. That noise means it worked. All right. So now this panel, oh my word, is this beautiful. So don't throw this away because you're going to use this for something. And then I'm going to gently remove this. Perfect. And then gently remove this as well. No tearing, which is wonderful because we use the fixie tape. And then I'm going to go in and I'm going to use my microfiber cloth to wipe off the ink that's on top of here. So you can see it's going to make it much lighter and much brighter when I do this. See how much brighter that has become? Now it's not going to make it crazy bright because it, you know, there is glitter and things like that in this. If you were to use just the Duo Gel, it would, but look at how beautiful that panel turned out. So what we're going to do is I'm also going to use these. I forgot to mention that earlier. These are the Balloon Blast Gems. I don't know if we still have multicolor. I probably shouldn't be using these today, but I think that these are going to work so well with this background. So hopefully we still have them in stock. If we do not, I apologize, but we don't.
We have other colors.
We have the other colors. Okay. I mean, the other colors will work as well. So I'm going to grab my Slimline card bases. You get 20 in this pack, and they're 8.5 by 7. Okay. Oh, this is very thick cardstock. This is great cardstock. Isn't it great when you get excited about your own product? All right, and then I'm going to grab my EK Success or EK Tools scoring board. We do have these in stock, I know that. If not, we have about 75 other types of scoring boards in stock. And I'm going to score this at 3.5. Okay, so 3.5 is right here where it says 4 bar. Okay, and then I'm going to fold it, and that will fold it in half. And my trick is I put this up in the corner, and I'm going to go ahead and score that, and there is our slimline. All right, makes it so easy when you can just score it with your little scoreboard. And then this should fit perfectly right in the center there, and it sure does. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to add a fairy to this, and we are also going to add a sentiment to this. So I'm going to go in and I'm going to look at, so with this, I really love this little fairy couple that's here, and luckily, since like I told you earlier, my little crafty fairy already has this prepped for me. So I think I'm just going to put them right here because it looks like they're kind of looking at the stars. Does that make sense? I hope so, because it looks like they're looking at the stars. Let me see what else I have in my little pack here. And then I think we can do May All Your Dreams Come True. What do you think? Do you think that'll work? I think we'll place them right here, though, because it's a little busy where I had them originally. And then I think the May All Your Dreams Come True will be perfect there. Because we're also going to add some gems to it, remember, so we don't want it to be too much. But I kind of like them. Actually, you know what else? I'm going to add the flower under them. Because they have to be sitting on something, right? Much better. What do you think? Good? Yeah, you're having me go into another sleeve. I know. Well, don't worry, it'll get used. It'll all get used. Now that it's all cut out and ready to go, it will get used. So, all right, so what I'm going to do is let me attach this panel on here real quick, and then I'm going to do some coloring. And then we're also going to use some of the fairy wings, too. So we've talked about those. I almost am hesitant to use them because they are at a full SOS status. Like, we're talking we have 2 left. So we are reordering them, but we have 2 left. And I'm not going to lie to you. That's it. We have 2. Literally 2. Out of hundreds of them, we have 2 left. Hello, Monique. Yes, and they're already pre-cut for me again. So, I mean, I'm telling you, they're too good to me here. All right. So there is our beautiful panel that we just created. And did I put that on upside down? Well, I guess it can go either way. I think that was a slip that was intended, because I like them better like that here. And then may all your dreams come true. Oh yeah, I like that. Okay. So let's color these in. So first we'll start with our flower, and I think we'll do yellow for this flower because it's going to be over here in the blue area and we want it to stand out. So I'm just going in with my Olo markers again. I just love these illustrations on this one. Thank you, Emily, for lending us your beautiful artistic abilities in creating these stunning illustrations. I love, really do love this collection. Okay. Did I say hi to Monique? Hi, Monique, if I didn't say hi. I forget sometimes if I said hello or not. And I'm going to add a little bit of the darker shade here. I'm not doing a ton of blending. I'm just adding in some color. And then I think for the center, we will do some orange. Hopefully back when I order next week. Oh, yes. Fingers crossed. Okay, and we're going to give one of them green hair. And did I tell you how much fun I'm having with these fairies and making them every color that I ever wanted? Because they're fairies. They can be whatever color you want them to be. So this one will have green hair, and this one will have violet hair. Because why not? And then I'm thinking we'll do like a yellowish, yellow-orange shirt. For this one. And then I'm thinking a dark blue. Oh no, we'll do like a lighter blue for this one. And they're very simple to color. And then I think we'll do, for their skin tone, I think we'll make them this light yellow. Because again, you can make them whatever color you would like because they're fairies. All right. And then for their wings, I'm going to do this bright, vibrant green, which is Muscat Grape from Olo. Forgot to do his other arm. 1 minute, please. And then a beautiful light blue for the tips. And I have found recently that I love to color fairy wings. I just have been having such a good time coloring the fairy wings. All right, so now we're going to be able to start assembling this card. Let me grab my fairy wings. I have so much in my little, here we go. So this is what the fairy wings look like when you get them. So they are not already pre-cut out. They will look like this. You will be able to do all sorts of different, you'll be able to do, like, I mean, really, you can alcohol ink them. You can add color to them from an alcohol marker like what I'm going to do. But again, the fairy cut these out for me already. Who is beeping out there?
Card people.
All right. I think I'm missing a set.
You used them.
Oh. All right. So I think each of them will then get different fairy wings.
Foil it.
What are you doing?
You foil it.
Foil what?
Wings.
Oh. You can try. I don't know which side it is. Okay. So I'm going to add a little bit of color to these wings. All right. I grab my little scrap sheet that I've been using here so I can see. Okay. So you can see our wings there. Gotta grab the smooth side. And I'm going to add a little bit of color. So we'll do the green first. And this is just going to make it so that they match. See how beautifully you can color those with an alcohol marker? And I'm going to cut these apart. Okay. All right. And I'm going to hit this real quick with the heat gun. Oh, yay! Yes, Candy and Shannon will be going live together tonight. Just going to hit these real quick with the heat gun. Told you it needed to be on forever.
Oh my god.
Okay, so I'm going to, actually I think I'm just going to turn this off. Yeah. All right, so now we're going to start assembling. We'll put our wings to the side real quick because we'll add those at the very end. So let's go ahead and start assembling. So I'm going to grab some of my foam. And we're not going to do the third card. I'm just going to show you what it looks like whenever it's foiled. So, I know, isn't that great? It just makes it so simple. So easy to do. All right. So we're going to place this flower right here. And look at how beautiful it now looks because it is kind of playing off of that background. So now I'm going to add a little bit of adhesive here. So we have to use regular adhesive at the bottom and then a foam adhesive at the top. Like so. So that they can sit on there like that. I love that so much. Okay. Oh, a guinea pig. That's funny. All right. And then I'm going to add a little bit of foam adhesive that every time that I cut foam adhesive, it flies across the room. All right. Let me trim that off there. And now I'm going to add some of our little gems on. So again, these are the Balloon Blast gems. Thank you, Shannon. And we're just going to grab some of the little guys and kind of add them in here and there where they would make sense. We're not going to use this big guy. Here, Heather, do you need a press-on earring? Because that's literally what these remind me of when my sister used to have press-on earrings.
My mom used to go to dances and we'd do things
Press-on earrings?
with them.
Yeah, I love it. So I'm just adding a few gems here and there. It does look like they're enjoying a light show. Because these little gems, to me, just make sense on here because they look like a part of the stencil. And here's a purple one. But yeah, we have these in store. Lily put one on her nose and face. That's hilarious. That's funny. That's really funny. But I mean, that would be worrisome. You're like, wait a second, did you go to a sleepover and someone pierced your nose? All right. I think that's our last one. Let me grab my tweezers because I got a little adhesive there. So I have to do some card surgery. It's okay. It's an outpatient procedure. All right, there we go. I'm going to remove one of these because I don't think we need both of them. And there we go. So we have our little gems. And you can add more, of course, if you would like. But look at how fun that card turned out. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. So simple and so easy and just such a fun collection to have. So I have two things to show you that came off of the foiling. So we're going to set that right there for a minute. So we have our panel that we did. It's our background panel that we did with the stencil. So let's go ahead and take a look at how that turned out. So remember, we used the stencil with some black paper, and we used the, what was the name of this one again? It is called Mystic Rainbow. Oh my word. I know it don't look like much, folks, right now because it's not hitting the light, but look at this. Oh my goodness. Imagine this for the background of your fairy card. And as soon as the light hits it just the right way, it's almost like when I hit the light like this, it looks like it is literally like shining. It is whistle-worthy, isn't it? Oh my goodness. So that is what that looks like. And then also we foiled the fairy wings. And by gosh, by golly, look at that. Now that's whistle-worthy. Could you imagine placing those on one of the fairies? Just stunning. Wow. Really great. And I'm sure Heather's going to steal these, so I'm going to put it over here because I'm sure she'll want to use it for a project. But that's it, everyone. So thank you all so much for hanging out with me today. Thank you for being a part of my life. I really, really enjoyed the time that we spent together today. I hope you're able to get all of the items that you also desire from this fairy release. Like I said, there's a lot of things at SOS status, which means sellout status. We will be restocking some of them next week. But if they are not restocked before the Wizard of Oz release, which is on June 1st, some of those items just might not be restocked. Oh my goodness. Hold on. I forgot to put their wings on. I just looked down and I was like, wait a second. I have wings for them. So I'm just going to clip these in the center because you can really do whatever you would like with them. Just going to add a little bit of adhesive to the back. And I'm just going to add these on top of their wings they already have. See that? So now we'll add on her wings. And there we go. Look at how incredible. And I only do the top because see how they lift then? And because this is like one of those interactive cards where someone will be like, oh my goodness, those wings lift up. So it just adds so much to your card. I was like, my goodness, I looked down and I was like, I can't believe I forgot those wings. I spent so much time on them and I forgot them. So thank you all so much for hanging out with me today. Remember to create something every single day, whether that's something that is in the fairy tale realm or your own ending. I appreciate you all so very much, and I thank you for your time and hanging out with me today. Have a wonderful rest of your day. I love you all very much, and I will see you all tomorrow. Goodbye, my friends.